Your person is going through a profound emotional transformation, and at the heart of it all is you. They feel as though they have built a massive wall between the two of you, an emotional block that has grown over time, layered with fear, regret, and uncertainty. This wall now feels like a barrier not just between your connection, but also within themselves. It's something they created, knowingly or unknowingly, to shield their vulnerability. But now, they're beginning to realize how much this distance has cost them. They're yearning to find the strength and courage within to break it down, to come forward with authenticity and vulnerability. There's a deep admiration they hold for you, one that often leaves them in awe. Watching you move forward in life, so confidently and with such quiet strength, stirs something powerful within them. You move like a lone wolf, self-sufficient, resilient, and determined. Even after everything you've endured, you carry yourself with such grace and composure. While they are inspired by your strength, they are also intimidated by it. It shines a light on their own insecurities and the areas where they still feel lost or unsure. Yet, instead of turning away, they find themselves drawn even more toward you. They often find themselves lost in thought, daydreaming about what a life with you could be like. These are not fleeting thoughts, they are vivid, hopeful, and sometimes bittersweet. In those quiet moments, when no one is watching, they allow themselves to imagine a world where the two of you are together, building something meaningful. This connection, even from a distance, has awakened a desire in them to do something real, something lasting. For the first time in a long while, they want to take action not just for others, but for themselves. The people around them are starting to notice a change. There's a shift in their energy, their intentions, their mindset. And many of those closest to them suspect, rightly, that this transformation has something to do with you. You've become a catalyst in their life, someone who challenges them to grow, to reflect, and to believe in something more. This realization is slowly pulling them out of a stagnant space and pushing them into a phase of healing and self-discovery. They are beginning to awaken to the truth that they are worthy of love, real love. Not the kind that comes with conditions or fears, but the kind that feels safe, nurturing, and transformative. This awakening has ignited a desire to move more quickly toward you, even if they aren't entirely sure what awaits on the other side. What they do know is that the old version of themselves, the one that stayed silent, wore masks, and hid from their feelings, can no longer exist in this new chapter. In your absence, they miss more than just your physical presence. They long for the comfort of your touch, the tenderness of your energy. You have a softness about you that grounds them, soothes them, and makes them feel seen. Your love doesn't just make them feel good, it nurtures them in ways that have inspired real change. They've noticed that when they think of you, they become more creative, more confident, and more in tune with their own emotions. You bring out a version of them that they not only like but are proud of. To them, you are more than just a romantic interest. You are their muse, their anchor, and their guiding light. They see you as their biggest source of inspiration and the very reason they've started believing in something greater. Despite the obstacles that still exist in this connection, whether it's timing, circumstances, or internal struggles, they hold a deep and unwavering love for you. What's changed now is their willingness to stop hiding. They no longer want to live in a world where they pretend you don't exist. The mask they once wore to protect themselves from rejection or judgment no longer feels like protection, it feels like a prison. And they are finally ready to step out of that prison and live with honesty and purpose. They want to speak their truth, to open up about their feelings, and to take that brave step toward healing this connection. This journey hasn't been easy for them, and there is still work to be done. But one thing is clear, they are no longer content with silence or distance. They are ready to fight for something real. And at the heart of that fight is you, the one they believe is worth every effort, every change, and every moment of vulnerability. Their heart is slowly but surely leading them home, and home, to them, is wherever you are. I just want to talk to you. More than anything, I want you to hear me, not just with your ears, but with your heart. I've spent a lot of time reflecting, digging deep into who I am, and who I've been with you. And the truth is, there are some things I need to say that I should have said a long time ago. I've come to understand that becoming the man I truly want to be, the kind of man who can offer love, safety, and growth, requires more than good intentions. It takes integrity. It takes transparency. It takes emotional strength, the ability to be decisive, and perhaps most importantly, the willingness to be vulnerable. These aren't just qualities that sound good in theory, they're essential. I realize now that I haven't lived them the way I needed to, especially with you. If I'm being honest with myself, and with you, I've allowed my fears to take control of my life. Fear of failure. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing control. For so long, I've been used to handling everything by myself, telling myself that I had to be strong in the ways I thought strength looked like, silent, composed, unshakable. So when you came into my life with your love, your openness, your light, I didn't know how to receive it. I didn't know how to let someone in because I'd been so used to being emotionally self-sufficient, or at least pretending to be. I was rigid in my ways, stuck in patterns that no longer served me, and those patterns hurt you. And the truth is, you didn't need someone who kept everything locked inside. You didn't need a wall, you needed a partner. You needed someone who could show up with an open heart, someone who could be vulnerable with you, someone who could say, I'm scared, or I don't know what to do, and trust that your love would hold space for all of that. You were ready to be all in, and I wasn't. Not because I didn't love you, but because I didn't know how to let go of the fear and control I've clung to for so long. Looking back now, I realize that I never gave you the opportunity to fully be there for me. I never gave myself completely to you, not because you weren't worthy of that, but because I was too scared to let myself be seen. And I deeply regret that. I truly, deeply regret it. From the bottom of my heart, I want you to know that. I see now how I failed to appreciate what I had in you, your loyalty, your patience, your capacity to love me even when I made it difficult. Instead of being grateful for your unconditional love, I often found reasons to blame you or to distance myself emotionally. I was so afraid of losing myself that I didn't realize I was losing you. I thought that by protecting myself, I was preserving something. But really, I was building a wall between us, and I see that now. My fear disguised itself as strength. My silence masqueraded as calm. But in reality, they were symptoms of emotional fear, fear of being known, of being vulnerable, of being hurt. I realize now that my inability to be vulnerable created a space that didn't feel safe for you. I didn't show you that I was someone you could fully lean on, someone who would meet you in the messy, raw, human places where love either grows or dies. And for that, I am truly sorry. I own that now. I see the damage that my emotional distance caused. I see how much you needed something different, something more, and I'm not here to excuse myself. I'm here to tell you that I understand now. But more than just understanding, I want to change. I am changing. I'm doing the inner work to become the kind of man who not only talks about growth and connection but lives it. I'm creating a safe space for us, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. A space where we can both show up without fear of judgment or rejection. I want to be the person you can lean on, the one who hears you, sees you, and never takes your love for granted again. Please forgive me. I know that's a big ask, and I don't take it lightly. I should have told you how scared I was. I should have told you what I felt for you instead of hiding behind silence and pretending that I had it all figured out. I didn't. And I see now that by not speaking up, by not being open with you from the start, I allowed confusion, hurt, and distance to grow between us. I never expected things to become so complicated. I never expected silence to cost so much. But it did, and I take responsibility for that. All I can ask now is that you hear this from a place of truth and love. I'm not perfect, but I am learning, and I am willing. I want to be better, not just for me, but for us. Because you matter to me more than I ever let on, and I refuse to let fear dictate my future the way it has dictated my past. Your partner was once incredibly stubborn, guarded, and emotionally closed off. No matter how much love or patience you showed, they struggled to let their walls down or truly open up to you. They carried emotional baggage and unresolved fears that kept them from being vulnerable, even with someone as genuine and kind-hearted as you. During your time together, they often chose pride and control over connection and honesty, and their actions, whether intentional or not, created emotional distance between you both. At the time, they may not have realized the extent of the damage they were causing, but now, after this long and painful separation, things are beginning to look very different from their perspective. This time apart has served as a wake-up call for them. Being away from you has given them space to reflect on everything that happened, and despite their attempts to move on or suppress their feelings, they keep finding themselves thinking about you. No matter how hard they try to forget, no matter how many distractions they seek, you remain deeply present in their heart and mind. Your memory follows them through the silence of their days and the stillness of their nights, and they are beginning to understand just how profoundly you touched their life. More than anything, they are now realizing the depth of your character, how pure, kind, and unwaveringly respectful you were, even when they gave you every reason to walk away bitter or angry. You never tried to tarnish their reputation or seek revenge. You never lowered yourself to the level of hurt you were given. Instead, you stood in your truth, treating them with compassion and dignity despite the pain they caused you. That strength of character, that inner grace you carried even during the hardest moments, has finally opened their eyes. They see now how wrong they were, how much they took you for granted. They feel ashamed of the way they treated you, of how they manipulated situations to serve their own emotional comfort, and of how often they ignored your needs and feelings. It pains them to think about the times they pushed you away or failed to show up for you when you needed them most. The guilt they carry is heavy, and it's coupled with a deep regret for not appreciating your love when it was right in front of them. They understand now that their inconsistency, their unpredictable behavior, the emotional highs and lows, pushed you to your limit. They know that their actions made you feel like an afterthought rather than a priority, and because of that, you eventually had no choice but to stop investing your time, energy, and heart into them. That realization is crushing for them, because deep down, they know you gave them every chance to meet you halfway. They can no longer deny the truth, they hurt you, even if they didn't mean to. But now, they are trying to find a way back to you. With the clarity that only distance and reflection can bring, they are preparing to do what they should have done all along, fight for you. They are ready to put in the effort, not just in words but through consistent action, to rebuild the trust that was broken. They know trust is not easily given, especially after everything that happened, but they are willing to be patient and do whatever it takes to earn it again. They've also made a conscious decision to no longer keep their options open or give attention to anyone else. Their focus is completely on you now. No other connection compares, and they've come to understand that no one else can take your place. You're not just someone they miss, you are someone they value deeply, someone they now see as irreplaceable. All the confusion, all the emotional detours, they've come to an end. They are no longer running from their feelings. They are no longer afraid to admit that you are the one they want, and they are prepared to show up differently this time. Your partner is hoping for a chance, not just for reconciliation, but for redemption. They want to prove to you that they can be better, that they can match the love, respect, and emotional maturity you once offered so freely. They are no longer driven by ego or fear, but by genuine remorse and a desire to rebuild something real with you. Whether you choose to give them that chance or not, they will carry the lessons you taught them for the rest of their life. But if you do allow them the opportunity to try again, they are ready to give you the version of themselves you always deserved.